On the news, anxiety as fuel queues emerge in Lagos metropolis. Senator Shaibu Lau appointed as new Senate Deputy Minority Leader. A National Association of Nigerian Students condemns ASU's planned strike. We're glad to have you join us in news now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Residents of the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, began the new week with some level of anxiety and confusion as fuel scarcity hit some parts of the state, especially on the island axis. Before long, filling stations on the mainland began spotting long vehicle queues and people spend a longer time trying to buy the premium motor spirit PMS, also known as petrol. This has posed a challenge for motorists and commuters going about their daily activities due to heavy traffic and high transportation rates by public transporters. Our correspondent, Sibisala Adigun, went into town to assess the situation and files in this report.
This is the scene that greeted customers who came in to purchase petrol. Queues as long as 200 meters stretched as far back as the eye could see into the busy roads, disrupting traffic. At filling stations in Maryland, Ogba and Ikeja, many motorists say they are in the dark as to the remote cause of the scarcity as they decry this situation.
I can't just say this is the reason or something like that, but last week the rumor that they're going to increase fuel for 350 naira. But that last week I heard in the news that they said there's nothing like that. Everybody should not fear that, nothing like that. You understand me? But since yesterday I was surprised. See queue everywhere. People said they want to increase fuel. So someone said that at VI they're selling 350 there. You understand me? So since yesterday there's a lot of queue.
I've been here 1 hour. Actually, it was last night when I was about closing, I discovered there's a fuel scarcity and a lot of queues. Even till this morning, I've been waiting here online. I have not gone anywhere, waiting to get the fuel. But I don't know what actually caused it.
I've been here more than 2 or 3 hours now because my boss wants to go to hospital now and I need fuel to carry him to hospital. Scarcity of fuel today now. I don't know what caused this one, this scarcity of fuel now. Starting from yesterday also. So we don't know what we are going to do.
Despite the subsequent announcement that the government had shelved the subsidy removal plan, product supply still appears to be a far cry from the demand for it. To this end, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) has allayed fears of any hitch in the supply of petroleum products, assuring of their availability, despite reported cases of a scarcity of these products, especially petrol, in some parts of the country. Some Nigerians have, however, expressed disappointment over the development. They also urged authorities to find a solution to the fuel scarcity.
Actually, I don't know, because maybe it's because of the subsidies they said they want to remove. Maybe that's the cost of it. But we are not really happy about this because we are so much suffering in this country. So I think our government should do something about this.
Surprisingly, I came out this morning to discover all this situation. I don't know. I've been on a queue more than 1 hour now. And I'm struggling to get petrol now. But by God's grace, let us see what we can do. But I pray that Nigeria will see to this, our government will see to this, to help us for this such a situation.
This is a regular sight in Lagos these days. Now, according to reports, the reason for fuel scarcity in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria is due to current effort by federal government to recall harmful imported petroleum products. But authorities say that the problem is soon to be resolved in no time. Simisola Adigun, TV360, Lagos.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Baba, has read out the strategies being taken by the police to stabilize Nigeria's security amid threats in various parts of the country. He explained that the police would undertake a holistic assessment of the current challenges with a view to ensuring the security of lives and properties of the people. The IGP made this known during the Nigeria Police Force Conference and Retreat for senior officers held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. The police boss maintained that due to the latest initiatives introduced in the force, new focus and orientation are being entrenched into the mindsets of officers. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, AGF Abubakar Malami, has urged Nigerians to be patient as regards to the issue of persecuting financiers of terrorism in Nigeria. Speaking during a television interview on Monday, the Minister of Justice assured Nigerians that in a couple of weeks, the citizens will get something tangible to hold on to. The minister explained that the persecution of those involved is a work in progress that cannot be categorized to the time of conclusion. He further explained that proof of evidence will have to be developed before prosecution takes place. Well, joining me on the news to discuss this further is Dennis Amakri, who is a former director of the Department of State Services. He joins us live from the United States. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Now, this is the third time the federal government would announce that it has discovered the financiers of terrorism in Nigeria. But beyond this announcement, do you not think it's high time these suspects are prosecuted?
Thank you for having me. I think it is very, very necessary for us to tell the public what is going on, because you see, everybody is well agitated. You have this story about the financiers being arrested in the United Arab Republic, and some of them are jailed, but the one in Nigeria, we don't know what's going on. So I think it's very, very necessary that we should follow it systematically and come up with this. I know that the government is strong not to announce the names of the people until their pleas are taken in the court. But at least they should, if we have to make a press statement, then give the public what I think should bring succor to them, because the killing is too much.
And what do you think would bring succor to the people now?
I think people want to see these people that are named to be shamed, to be taken to court and prosecuted, and then, of course, jailed. I think that's how it's done everywhere. But for us to announce that we've got them, Bureau de Change people, their associates, about 424 of them like that, without anything happening, even start making it look very funny, and people will be doubting whether government is saying the truth or not.
No, I mean, it's different. The AGF has said, that's basically explained that proof of evidence will have to be developed before prosecution takes place. How do you react to this?
Well, I agree with him, because that is what we have also been agitating for, where there is no need to start parading people without full investigation. So all necessary investigations should be carried out, all the necessary facts will be ready, and then, of course, presented to the court. And then when it goes to court, it is then even press people will come around and start questioning those people, whether they are guilty or not guilty, and whatever the process is going to be. But for now, I think announcing their names and all the rest is going to be preemptive to what is supposed to be.
Well, it's a wait-and-see matter for now. But Dennis Amakri, former director of the Department of State Services, thank you very much for your contribution. The opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP Minority Caucus in the Senate has appointed Senator Shaibu Lau as the Senate Deputy Minority Leader. The post became vacant following the defection of its former occupant, Senator Emmanuel Bwacha, to the ruling All Progressives Congress last weekend. But raising a point of order, Senator George Sakibu argued that the Constitution is clear that a lawmaker must retain his or her seat until the end of that tenure and can only defect to another party if there is a division in the party. Sakibu was, however, ruled out of order by the Senate President Ahmed Lawan.
It is appointed unto me from henceforth to enjoy a free air.
Point of order.
As King Solomon said,
Point of order.
as King Solomon said, there is a time for everything. There is a time for everything. Now it is a time for me. It's a time for me to leave the People's Democratic Party.
Point of order. Point of order.
Resulting,
You are protected.
really because of a deliberate isolation and huge divisions in the party in my state. This has caused...
Which party? Oh, okay.
the huge division and factionalization from my state, which also translates to the national, because I'm the national officer of the party and a member of NEC. Mr. President, I had to leave because I seek to breathe better.
He didn't say that there was a problem. All he said is that he wanted freedom, he wanted to breathe free air, he wanted to do that. There was nothing that he said that complied with this, the provision of the Constitution. More so, subsection 2 of section 68 has not been complied with. I think that, well, he has his own mind, he can go, but I think that we must be critical on these issues to confirm that what we are doing is the right thing. I think my friend Kwasha should come back, which has not done.
This letter signed by your national chairman. This letter says this PDP Senate caucus has duly informed the national headquarters of the party, and it's like the national headquarters has accepted and already nominated somebody to replace the single senator who has moved to APC. Lastly, is his fundamental human right. I know there is no way that this movement will not be questioned by somebody, at least to show that there was a small resistance. My fear is you may have to perfect your acts, because very soon you will be shocked by the massive movement from that side. So with that, I rule you out of order completely, distinguished Senator George Thompson Sekibo.
And now to education. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has condemned the decision of members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to embark on an indefinite strike due to the federal government's failure to implement the memorandum of action it signed with the union last year. In a press conference by the Lagos chapter of the association on Tuesday, the group pointed out that the decision is a means to unnecessarily disrupt the country's academic space, which is not in any way beneficial to Nigerian students. Speaking at the conference, chairman of the Lagos Axis of the association, Oluseyi Sampson, explained that although Nigeria's education sector is in a pitiable state, the manner in which ASU strike is conducted does not show seriousness from the union. The students thereafter appealed to both parties involved in the crisis to resolve the issue amicably rather than closing down schools.
As an association, we are upset at this moment in which unprecedented strike being embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of the universities has turned Nigerian students to a sacrificial lamb in their fight of ego with the Nigerian government since 2009 over the same issues. It is our belief that this strike is not in any way beneficial to the Nigerian student populace, but it is rather a means to unnecessarily disrupt the academic space through the unending strike action that has no bearing. Therefore, we understand the fact that the educational sector is in a pitiable state, but the manner in which ASU strike is being conducted does not show any form of seriousness from the union. We expect the fight should be on and off action because with such serious challenge, we have created to having quality and smooth education across the higher institution of learning in the country. All the strike actions does is to truncate academic calendar across the institutions without any meaningful result to the students. We hereby appeal to both parties to resolve this quarterly ASU strike finally as soon as possible, before Nigerian students are left with no option than to take to these streets, as the world is watching.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, House of Representatives set to probe 45 million bank accounts without BVN worth over 1.2 trillion naira deposit. Details of this story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a quick recap of some of our top stories tonight. Residents of the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, began the new week with some level of anxiety and confusion as fuel scarcity hit some parts of the state, especially on the island axis. Before long, filling stations on the mainland began spotting long vehicular queues and people spend a longer time trying to buy petrol. This has posed a challenge for motorists and commuters going about their daily activities due to the heavy traffic and high transportation rates by public transporters. We also told you that the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has revealed the strategies being taken by the police to stabilize Nigeria's security amid threats in various parts of the country. The IGP made this known during the Nigeria Police Force Conference and retreat for senior officers held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. Baba explained that the police would undertake a holistic assessment of the current challenges with a view to ensuring the security of lives and properties of the people.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the go-to app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Nigeria's daily COVID-19 cases continued on a low record on Monday with 53 infections logged in 10 states. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) in an update on Tuesday revealed that Gombe State topped the chart with 16 cases, while Rivers and Cross Rivers State logged 12 and 8 cases respectively. In total, 253,780 cases have been confirmed, with 230,144 recoveries. Meanwhile, no fatality was recorded on Monday, leaving the total deaths at 3,139. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says the COVID-19 pandemic will not end with the Omicron variant and the country has to prepare for more variants of the virus this year. Ardern made this comment in her first parliamentary address of the year on Tuesday. Ardern's warning came as hundreds of protesters gathered outside the Parliament building in the capital, Wellington, demanding an end to coronavirus restrictions and vaccine mandates. Ardern's government has enforced some of the toughest pandemic restrictions in New Zealand for the last 2 years as the government tried to keep the coronavirus out of the country. Well, we'll take another short break here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us. Well, Bisola Adibayana joins us for more stories and business. Over to you, Bisola.
Thank you very much, Falashade. Welcome to business news. The federal government has commenced moves to avert the impending nationwide strike of aviation workers in the country. The aviation workers, under the aegis of the National Union of Air Transport Employees and Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals, are threatening to withdraw their services on Tuesday over poor welfare and unimplemented agreements with the government. To stop the impending strike, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, hosted the meeting, which also had in attendance the Minister of Aviation, Adi Sirika, and other relevant top government officials. At the meeting, Ngige noted that the aviation workers gave the necessary warning to his ministry, but they resolved that their parent ministry should first engage with the government. The House of Representatives has raised concern over the 45 million accounts that are reported to be holding funds worth over 1.2 billion naira. To this end, the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on unclaimed funds in the Nigerian commercial banks and infractions by the Central Bank of Nigeria has begun investigation into the matter. The House had on January 26, 2022, resolved to set up the committee to investigate the suspicious and unclaimed funds sitting within various accounts. The House had mandated the committee to also investigate the unremitted funds collected on behalf of ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government by the banks.
This assignment is very enormous. The assignment is very crucial. It is very sensitive given the time of our economy in the country, what we are facing at the moment. So that's what informed the House of Reps to mandate this committee, this all-important committee, to embark on this assignment. We believe that the outcome of it will help the country to recover very substantial part of the unclaimed funds that have been hanging in some of the Nigerian commercial banks and other unauthorized hands. You know, monument for federal government is not supposed to sit with unauthorized hands for a very long time. About 1.2 trillion not paid into consideration. Rather, I believe the director of budget, who is between the minister, will be interested to have this money into the funds of the federation so that we can improve the infrastructural deficit and other challenges in our nation. I believe it is important, hoping and praying what was mentioned. If it is true, it means then we have a lot to do.
We'll take a break now and return with a review of the stock market. Nigeria's equities market closed further in red on Tuesday due to a continued round of profit-taking by investors as they continue to take advantage of the recent gains recorded in the market. At the close of today's trading session, the market benchmark indicator dropped further by 0.31%, but it still remained within the 47,000 level basis point, while total value of listed equities declined by about 70 billion naira to close at 25 trillion naira. Dragging the market further in the negative, investors sold shares of ICT giant Cordville Business Solution, real estate company UPDC, and others that topped the laggard list today. On the flip side, as our gainers list for today, Presco and NEM Insurance PLC led the gainers table as they recorded a combined 10 naira 20 kobo loss. And our market summary sees a total volume of 238 million units of shares valued at 5 billion naira, exchanged hands in 4,826 deals. Amid negative takeoff to a new week, some market watchers had expected the trade pattern to filter into Tuesday's session as the market continued to trade mixed despite the influx of full-year scorecards of most listed corporate. But fingers crossed, possibly tomorrow the market will go back to the positive territory. Moving on to the foreign scene, London's FTSE closed lower on Tuesday as an early bounce in energy major BP faded with sliding oil prices, while online supermarket Ocado tumbled following bleak earnings forecast. The Dow Jones, on the other hand, rallied on Tuesday following another round of volatile stock market action on Monday. And in the same vein, Japan stocks Nikkei also closed in the positive territory, recording 0.13% at the close of trading. That's all on stock market reports. Over to Folashadi for the rest of the news.
Well, many thanks, Bisola, for that story. And now the foreign scene, a controversy that began with a group of Indian schoolgirls asserting your right to wear the hijab has ballooned into a national row, pitting students into protests and counter-protests as Muslim girls have been barred from schools in some parts of India over the use of hijab. In January, 6 Muslim students in Udupi College, a government-run women's college in India's Karnataka state, were prevented from entering their classes by a school authority for wearing the hijab. The hijab rule has since escalated and spread to other districts of Karnataka, with more schools implementing the ban as students took to the street to protest, accusing the school authorities of tampering with and destroying their future. The state's chief ministers, however, ordered all schools and colleges to close for 3 days while urging students to maintain peace and harmony. Well, up next is Entertainment Reporter News Now.
After a decade of dominating the music scene in Nigeria with timeless classics, chart-topping bangers and street anthems, the YBNL boss Olamide is set to make his graceful exit from the music game with his 10th and final album. Olamide broke into the mainstream in 2011 with his daring single Eniduro. His debut album Rhapsody was released in the same year. Its lead single Omotoshon charted on several radio stations in Lagos and across Nigeria. Over the years, the singer and rapper have built an epic track list packed with groundbreaking hits. However, Olamide's announcement have left fans with mixed reactions. Some celebratory of Olamide's decision, others perceiving it to be a joke. Principal photography has commenced for Ant Hill Studios' newest project, a feature film scripted and directed by Chief Daddy director Niyi Akimolayo. The forthcoming crime drama titled The Man for the Job follows the adventures of an industrious young man who gets ruffled by the plot of an excessively optimistic startup CEO as he fights to accomplish his family and work-life balance. Set in Lagos, the film will explore the currently buzzing fintech industry. The Man for the Job will see lifestyle vlogger Kemi Otedola return to the screen for a second feature since starring in Kula Olayo's Citation. Ex-comedian Ali Baba is set to also join the cast alongside Iniedo Uzarukwe Ibrahim Suleiman. And that is all that we have for you in the entertainment segment of News Now.
And now to sports. Barcelona have announced the Chief Executive Officer, Ferran Riveta, has resigned from the position of CEO for personal and family reasons. In a statement on Tuesday, the club said the resignation will come into effect as soon as a new CEO is appointed. Riveta had been appointed CEO on July 1st, 2021 and had served in the club's 2021 to 2026 strategic plan project. That's it on our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashadi Ogurinde. Bye for now.